So we're gonna play this. We're gonna play it for quite a while, probably. I probably should have started the recording on the start screen, but whatever. It's Warship Gunner, you can read the title, bollocks off, I don't care. Now I've played the game and beaten it like 4 or 5 times, and you know, there's a lot of unlocks. You have to beat the game. Oh yeah, and YouTube subscriptions are broke, so that's a thing. But you have to beat the game 3 times to get the full story. If you care enough for that. It's only a few missions that you're missing each time. And you have to beat it at least once to unlock the harder difficulty, and you have to beat certain requirements to unlock extra missions, which I'll just go ahead and show off. Which are basically just a series of missions that are very, very silly. You know, boss rush, infernal, survival, and then special missions, which are basically joke missions. And I might do those because they're actually kind of fun, but not for now. For now, we're just gonna start from scratch. For whatever reason, my sub box isn't actually broken, but I've seen a lot of people complain about the sub box being broken, so I'm not sure. And we will be playing on probably easy, because that's how that works. First time you play it through, you should probably do easy, the second time normal, and then the third time hard. It's mostly because you just don't have stuff to make a good boat, is why I do that. So we're gonna play easy, because I'm a sissy. That's how that works. And we'll probably get a crappy intro cutscene. Hooray, crappy intro cutscenes! This game's made by Koei, they're known for crappy cutscenes. Also, like, super duper widescreen mode going on here. What is up with this screen? Good lord. Who put live shells in the freaking training ship? Also, why are those shells so expensive? Explosive. Words! They evade me. The XO died in the attack. I don't know what XO stands for. I've forgotten. Executive officer? Maybe? I don't know.
All hands alert!
Step 1, go forward. I've forgotten the controls for the game actually, so that zooms out. There we go. That's how you aim. Because there's dudes shooting at you. You can actually kill them all. There's no reason to, though. So. Oh yeah, and the ship you start with, if you double tap forward, you get a short little burst of speed, but it makes a horrible sound, so I'm probably not going to be doing that very often. Out of area. Basically, all you have to do is just go forward. They even point you in the right direction. I don't think you have to leave to the south, but you have to leave. I don't really think it cares where you leave to, so. Also, my microphone's kind of in the wrong spot, so I think I'll move it real quick. You used potatoes instead of grenades in Call of Duty 2. I don't remember that. Also, and fast forward this a little bit. You can read that if you want. The storyline in this game, it doesn't really even matter. You get a boat, you build the boat, you research more parts for your boat, and then you take that boat and then you kill other boats. That's basically all you need to know. But if you actually care about the storyline, you can actually read this little dialogue here. There will be several of these, actually. I don't remember how many. And a lot of them were actually really unnecessarily long, too. Which is kind of irritating. I just want to blow up boats, not read text for 47 minutes. I don't think any of them are 47 minutes long. I could voice act this. Me and my horrible voice acting ability. There's a guy on, I'm being a bit random right now, but there's a guy on Twitch called Monotone Tim. And I think me and Monotone Tim have some things in common here. Mostly the monotone part. A dialogue is a conversation between two people. This is true. It's not really a monologue either, because it's not actually a person talking. I don't really know what you would call it, quite frankly. It's not a person talking to themselves, it's the game explaining something to you, the player. but I don't believe there's any actual people involved. It's a wall of text. That works, yes. I suppose a wall of text would in fact work for this. Hello, Halsey. And for those on the YouTube end who are horribly confused, I am live streaming this. As per usual, I live stream basically everything now. I find it more entertaining than just straight up recording. Hull has arrived! Let us rejoice! Let us zoom in on this poorly textured map. The cadets from the Wilkian Naval Academy began their training. Dun dun dun. Training. And now we get to name our squadron. And I'm gonna leave the naming of the squadron up to the people in the chat. Because why the heck not? So you all get to come up with a name. There's, you know, symbols, random, which I don't really care about. It's the world's worst, like, keyboard setup. Fanfic fun bags. Hi, Aseroth. Vanille Squad, Fanfic Fun Bags, or Sleepy 101. There won't be any moaning in this game, so I'm not sure Vanille Squad would actually work very well. And I don't even know what Arrow just typed. Hold on. Naming! You guys are about as good at naming things as you are as coming up with fanfics. Just saying it. Luckily they give you like a billion spaces to actually put the name in. Sadly it's got the worst keyboard. It's alphabetic, I'm aware, but Jesus, man. It's between Fanfic Funbags and Fungus Fanatics. And I'm tempted to go Fungus Fanatics. Yeah. Just remember, focus the little ones. You can actually do that fate without killing any of the little fungus. In fact, it's a lot easier to do without killing any of the little fungus. And because this isn't Pokemon, we'll put a Pokemon gender symbol. It's not a Pokemon gender symbol, I'm aware. We'll just slap that on the end of it. There you go. You must be this gender to be part of this squad. Facepalm. LSD loonies. Will you name your fleet Fungus Fanatics? I think we will. And I don't want anything to do with tutorials, game. The tutorials in this game are good, but they're like an hour and a half long. If it's your first time playing, I recommend you do the tutorials because they help you a lot, and I'll probably forget things that I should have watched in the tutorial, but once you start it, you have to do the whole thing. And it's a long tutorial. The infinity symbol. Put the infinity symbol. Listen to dramatic music. Check out these sweet, still cutscenes. Every piece of, like, story in this game is either a wall of text or these, so... It didn't have the world's highest production value, let's just put it that way. I think it had a lower production value than Dynasty Warriors did back in the day. An important announcement. Open a line. I do wish this was voice acted, but really I don't, you know. I have no problem with this kind of cutscene. I do wish it was voice acted though. It does have some sweet dramatic music for no reason. Coup centered around the Defense Force military has taken advantage of our joint maneuver. Luckily, His Majesty the King, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of Kinglandia. When you are a king, your last name needs to be something silly, just so people can be like, His Majesty the King, the 1st, the 4th, Sir William the 9th, or something. Just because it needs to be more complicated. That's all you get as a king anymore, is complicated names. King, there you go. His Majesty King the King. Or Sir King. His first name needs to be Sir. His last name needs to be King. And his middle name needs to be the. So His Majesty Sir the King the King. There you go. Well done! This dude's like, look at his face. Serious business gardener over here. Wouldn't he be a knight then? No, he'd be like a knight king. King knight. King knight the king knight. Or something. Oh, it's no longer serious business gardener now. We're cool. Everything is well in the world. General Sir King Captain the Third. And the reason this has just decided to pop into my head, by the way, is I watched Northern Lions Crusader Kings 2 videos. And I believe at some point, because of what his last name choice was, he was like Banana Dong the Fourth of the Third. Because he had like the fourth in his name, so the game would just put the third and the fourth and the fifth behind it. So it would be Banana Dong the Second, the Third. Be like, what? Now you're just making crap more complicated. Yes! That's the point. Welcome to briefing. It's cloudy. Now, we are going to be going for a very specific path in the storyline, because it makes the first playthrough of the game slightly easier, and that's because you get less submarine missions. I'll kind of explain why that's good later on. But we'll be going for this Tsukuba, something along that lines, path, which is the Japanese path, and it requires that we meet up with the Allied fleet in this mission and exit without sinking very many of the enemy ships. So I'm gonna be firing as little as physically possible, so. Grimmeth the Second McGrimmeth. Good heavens. This is a super easy mission. Now on this mission, there is actually, in the northwest, you notice there's a plot of land, there's actually a unique item there. And there's one in quite a few of the missions, but we can't get them now, and we can't get them for a long time, so. This specific one, we need a helicopter to pick up the box for us, and we obviously don't have helicopters yet. We're not that advanced. 10 minutes later, entire fleet dead, yes. The insurgent fleet in the Schildhafen region. Hafenschil. I don't even know how to remotely pronounce that. So we'll go with Shieldhav. Shieldhav area. Go! And I don't think we can actually use the floating dock for a while, sadly. I could be mistaken, but I don't think we can. Shieldhaven, whatever. We don't really need his assistance. We're not going to be, really shooting very many people. Am I going to play Watch Dogs? Probably not. I have no real interest in it. Everyone else is freaking out over it. I don't really. Hadn't even been on my radar. Doo-doo-doo.
Secondary objective added.
By the way, see that? She's gonna freak out about it. Keep that in mind. Because that little thing in the distance there that she freaks out about, that offshore oil rig under construction. What's all the dogs in gaming recently? Dogs are important. That's actually somewhat useful. And we're gonna head to our allies pretty much immediately, which are over there being shot at by these fellows, which we will shoot at. Somewhat haphazardly, anyway. These are super easy ships. They're just destroyers. They're very weak destroyers, too. And since we're here, we may as well pick up stuff they drop. You're rated each time, or in each mission, based upon a score you get, and picking up these little, dinghies, the survivors actually gives you additional scores, so It's never a bad idea to pick them up when you can. I also think my L1 button's possibly a little messed up. Who knows? Either way, now we just need to go south. Enemy ship sunk. This is a fast ship, it only goes 33 knots. You can get these things up to 100. Do you eventually get battleships? Yes. You get destroyers, submarines, cruisers, battleships, battle carriers, and I think there's some other stuff there. Frigates, you get frigates. I think that's basically every boat known to man. There's some special ones, some special hulls like twin hull ships, stuff like that. Why didn't I go all submarine? I don't even have a submarine yet. This is not a simulator, I believe I mentioned that. Ow. Let's explain the UI actually, since I didn't do the tutorial. On the left hand side here, if you can read that, it says engine, and that is your speed. You've got your 3 forward, 1 reverse, a neutral.
Full speed ahead.
I'm ramming that guy. At the bottom, you have a health bar right there. Ow. As well as some icons. That's a damage icon. You've got, what is that? Flight deck damage, fire, hull breach. I think that's rudder. And then engine. If your engine's dead, you can't stop. If your rudder's damaged, you turn like crap. You know, the standard thing. Up here is the compass, not very useful. That is your, the little arrow there is your direction of the objective. Just ignore the things that are exploding around me constantly. Compass, direction, objective. This is my aiming cursor, as well as a map in the center. You might know this. Blue is ally, green is ally. Yellow is enemy. I don't know why there's blue and green, I never figured that out. Maybe blue is ally and green is neutral, I don't know. Can you submerge and not be hit as a submarine? Yes, unless the enemy has torpedoes, in which case they just shoot torpedoes at you. So, hooray! That should be that objective done. And in the next mission we will have to destroy the radar installations and then wait for our friend to catch up, so... That'll be... Could be a color for land allies, this is true, yes. I forgot what I was saying. And we will withdraw from the battlefield because our objective is done as far as I'm aware. The port of Yokosuka, an allied nation of Japan. Indeed. And we're gonna get a garbage rank because I did literally nothing that mission, but in order to get this to work I have to do literally nothing, so. What is my favorite ship class? I prefer carriers, quite frankly. I mean, they're not the most efficient means of murdering things, because planes in the super late game aren't all that useful, but I like carriers, because planes, and helicopters and planes and planes and helicopters and then all sorts of stuff. And another wall of text. Good heavens. I told you there were several of these. They're more condensed in the early game, and then they stop showing them quite as much later. Thought that was a reflection on my monitor. It was apparently just something in the background showing up. Yay, wall text. Text wall. We won't be getting large ships for a very long time. Because of the way the research system works in this game, which will be explained by me and the game. I'll be skipping that tutorial too, later on. Basically, you have to spend money that you get from missions to research stuff, and then each mission counts as basically a research turn. So something that takes 4, I guess days to research will be 4 missions. Excuse me. I'm terribly uncomfortable because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in here and I'm sweating. A first sign of Alzheimer's. Indeed. Alzheimer's. 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 Suddenly dramatic music. This music reminds me of Metroid Fusion. Just like the overall background. I don't know what that is in the background, but the background music reminds me of Metroid Fusion. And we will save. And we will not save over that one. Spoiler. Notice it says mission pause. Whenever it says mission pause, that means you are not at the dry dock. You can save between them, but you cannot change your ship or, you know, change research or anything, so. Anyway, welcome to this one. By the way, the last number in the mission here, I did pick Fungus Fanatics, yes. The last number in the missions actually denotes what story sequence you're on. So that's the thing. What's going on here? By God. That's cray cray. It's a dude we may or may not kill later. Also, that man has a great beard. Look at his beard, man. That is a beardly beard if ever there was a beard. Thank you for doing my job for me. And I don't think we have to actually kill anything in this mission either. We just have to wait for our allied vessel to catch up with us. I think I just skipped a bunch of text there or whatever. We illegally detained people. Look at his face. I'm pretty sure I can do this faster than you, dude. Just saying. He gets his own boat. I believe his boat's actually identical to yours, or very close to yours. They appear to be breaking through, hooray! That's kind of irrelevant for us, because it doesn't actually do us any good. Also, I don't think they're actually even on the map when it loads. They're like, they're pushing through and we're the only support they have, but they don't actually exist. Yes, of course it matters, you dingleberry. Also, that is an old man laugh picture if ever there was one. That is, if you want to draw an old man laughing, that is the kind of picture you want to have. I know where they're located, you dingleberries. And guess what we're doing? Covering each and every installation. Uber confused face. Herp derp, destroy the radar, head south. We have to destroy the radar and then wait for him before we head south. Actually it says ready for live ammo training, but we've already had a mission where we had live ammo. So that becomes kind of null and void, quite frankly. You've been assigned to a destroyer. Yes, the same destroyer we had last time, I think.
All hands, alert! Full speed
Is this a
ahead.
different destroyer? I don't remember what we had last time. We have some depth charges, something shooting at me, torpedoes, and send gun. On the right side here, you've got all of your guns and their corresponding ammunition, as well as aircraft and repair tool. If it's green, that means it is auto-firing, so you don't need to worry about going to machine guns to shoot at aircraft. It will automatically fire for you. However, there's a cannon here, or a battery, I should say. I should broadside it, that'd be logical. And a radar. All we really care about are the radars. Like that boat, I don't have to kill the boat, but I'm going to, because, you know, it's a boat. I don't really like other boats being in my boat territory.
Enemy ship sunk.
It's like feral dogs. Feral dogs don't like other dogs being around them. So instead, we're just going to blow them up, because that's how this works. Now, he follows a set path, And his path is very slow. You can do this mission really fast without waiting for him, but we have to wait for him, so it's a thing. Also something shooting at me. Hello. To Arctica? What? That's a battery. I'm shooting a battery and I'm not even targeting the battery. What am I targeting? What the heck is a Antarctica? Someone inform me what a Antarctica is, please. Apparently it's whatever those are. My battery's not dead. I don't know what they are. Pillboxes, maybe? Kind of pillboxy looking. I don't know. They're dead? I suppose they are. And we need to curve this way. Now, depending on the caliber of your gun, these are only 10 centimeters, so these are really small. Depending on the caliber of your gun, they fire faster or slower and have more range. So these 10 centimeter guns have the shortest range and fire relatively fast compared to something like a 120 centimeter gun, which fires really far, but does it very slowly. And of course the damage ramps up, that kind of thing. And I think all of our cannons currently have 2 barrels on them, or 1 barrel. I think they have 2 barrels. I think I only have 2 cannons. Oh no, I have 4 cannons, they just have 1 barrel. Who designs cannons with 1 barrel? That's silly. There's some shells. What is that? What were you shooting at, dude? Is there something over there that he's actually shooting at that? How are you doing that? AI is cheating again. Let's shoot a torpedo. Yay. Your guns do have, radius that they can turn or rotate. You notice there's a dead angle. It's because I don't have a torpedo launcher on the front of the boat, so I can only shoot them in the back 180 or so. I can't shoot them straight back because it's a torpedo launcher and not a torpedo turret. Standard things like that. Anyway, what do you mean? Oh, I'm shooting machine guns. Don't shoot machine guns, you dingle. It's not cheating if the AI does it. It's still cheating. Just, don't shoot. I don't even want to shoot the airbase. Airbases will spawn aircraft periodically. At the very start of the game, they spawn barely any, if at all.
Stop engines. Reverse
Alright,
engines.
so there's a boat over here.
Main objective updated.
Oh no, that's a plane. Oh,
Stop
get it. I
Full
forgot that
speed
existed.
ahead. Secondary objective added.
I don't think we're gonna hit it, but I forgot that
Reinforcements
existed.
spotted.
Cargo planes like this spawn in certain missions and they will drop unique loot. I'm gonna see if I can kill it before it goes over land. Oh, for God's sake, hit the stupid thing. I know you're cannons and you're not supposed to do this, but hit it. I'm not close enough for machine guns, you dings. There we go. And it drops a part. When you pick up parts on the battlefield like this, it gives you one of them. When you research them, it gives you unlimited numbers of them. But I believe some of the parts you have to find before you're able to research. So,
Classified
it's already
information
there.
seized.
Yay, classified information. It's already there, we may as well kill it and grab it here. Most of them will require you do the campaign the second time to get it. I don't even know what that is, quite frankly, so... Are we just gonna plow through here? I'm gonna plow through here. Shoot stuff? Screw that. I have limited ammunition. I'm actually gonna shoot things.
Enemy ships
It only takes 1 salvo to kill those. Assuming I hit them. Torpedoes, why are you so bad at tracking?
Enemy ship sunk.
We don't have to kill
Secondary
these,
objective
and I
complete.
don't know if there's friendly fire. There's not friendly fire, good. And I missed. Fantastic. Torpedoes are horrible at tracking. I don't usually use torpedoes. They're really strong. And, some of the later ones are really good, but they miss so much. I'd rather just shoot the stupid boat with cannons. Look at that.
Sunk.
I win.
Stop engine.
And I think I should have met the requirement to do that, so we should now be on the Japanese path of the storyline. And the reason as mentioned that I want this path is because it has less submarine missions, and the submarines that you can build the first time through the campaign